but I know a couple of them were just getting home. So guys, I am super, super excited. Danny was on our 5-star hot seat last week, and Mary messaged me and she's like, you've got to be on this call. Like, Danny is literally like your twin, Heather. Like, you've got to be on this call. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't get it, but okay, fine. Because I honestly, like, I don't follow a lot of coaches. I try to keep in my own lane. But you learn as you grow. You don't, if you're learning to compare yourself, don't do it. Like, just don't compare yourself. If you want inspiration, cool, fine. It's amazing. But if you're going to go to somebody's page and compare yourself, just unfollow them. So Danny, her story was so inspiring. She's been doing this it's taken her 4 years. She's doing, actually, leadership is going on right now. So virtual leadership is going on right now. She is an 8-star in her first business center, a 5-star in her second business center, 2019-2020 Premier Coach. She locked in Elite for 2021. She's a Success Club All-Star legend. She's got 50 months under her belt with Success Club. She's a Success Starter and a National Wake Up Call presenter. So if you guys want to talk about accolades, she's got all of it. But what I'm here to tell you guys is, I will tell you, a year ago, these were not her accolades. This is not where her journey was. And she is an Enneagram 3. I'm pretty, like, to a T. So she is a hustler. She is committed. You guys, she's the achiever to a T. And so for her, like, she was doing all of the things, but there's some things that just clicked with her, and she ran with it, and her business completely changed. So I am going to turn it over to you, Danny. I am so excited to have you on this call, and just bring the fire, and I am good to go.
Okay, yay. Thank you guys so much for having me. So tonight I just want to kind of share my last 5 years in the business. So you can see, like, my favorite thing to tell my team is, like, your whole life can change in a week in Beachbody. And how cool is that our business is week to week. So I'll get into this, but I went from a 1-star diamond to a 6-star within a week or two of each other. So I don't want to say that as if I haven't had success. I've had success since I started, and my income has grown every single year. But let me just get into my story. So I got started in 2015. Prior to that, I was a collegiate and competitive cheerleader, and I was a full-time bar manager. When I got married in 2013, I decided to hang up my pom-poms and just devote what little extra time I had outside of work and outside of school to my husband instead of cheerleading. And so what felt like overnight, I gained about 10 pounds in about 4 months, and I did what every girl does after her wedding and cut off all my hair. So I wasn't feeling my best physically, which took a toll on me mentally. And I was in a toxic job as a bar manager. Just wasn't a great place to be or great people to be around, but I made great money only working 3 days a week. And so it's really hard to get out of that trap, as I call it, because for most people, they're going to have to take a pay cut when they leave the service industry, right? Like, if I was to go get a 9-to-5 from the bar, I would go to like minimum wage, where I'm making $3,000 to $5,000 a month as a bartender, right? So that was really hard, and probably why I stayed as a bartender for so long, because it's just really comfortable and you make a lot of money really fast. And even though I worked really hard, I didn't want to start over at the bottom. I had my college degree. I was applying for jobs, probably not as hard as I should have been, but I was applying for at least 5 different jobs a week, and no one was really hiring. So I just didn't feel like I was living the life that I thought I would. Like, my 3rd grade teacher told my mom I'd be the first woman president. So I felt like I was meant for more in this life than just being a bar manager. But I had all the boxes checked. Amazing husband, beautiful home. We both drove nice cars. We could travel. We could pay for things. But inside, I was very unhappy because, like Heather said, I'm a type 3. So for me, achieving is kind of my jam. And I just felt like I wasn't really doing much. And I felt like I was meant for more. So Around October 2014, my best friend tells me she lost 9 pounds doing some kind of Facebook group. I'm like, whatever you did, I'm going to do that. Turns out it was 21 Day Fix. I already owned the program. I was actually like a closet Beachbody infomercial orderer, because what do you do when you can't sleep? You watch TV, and what plays late at night? Beachbody infomercials. So I ordered and owned most of those programs, never finished one. Some never even opened. And so I was like, great, got it off the shelf, freaking got like 2 inches of dust off of it because it'd been sitting up there for so long. And I was like, let's do it. And the lady's like, yeah, you got to buy Shakeology. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Literally gave away my color-coded containers. So clearly I was in it to win it, right? And after 21 days, I had no results. Literally, I didn't even lose an ounce. And I was like, that's weird. And so then I did another group, and I did another group and another group. And 4 months later, I had literally not lost an ounce. I actually looked worse, if you can believe that. It was wild. But for me, working out was like my license to eat whatever I want. And I would consume like a year's worth of sugar in a day. So things weren't working out. So I'm like, you know what? I'm 30 now. I got to do something extreme. What do you know? 21 Day Fix Extreme was coming out. So I ordered the challenge pack with the Shakeology. And till this day, I don't know why, but in my head, I'm like, you know what? Like, this challenge group is awesome. I'm really competitive. So of course I'm going to check in, but I need like something more to motivate me to get this 6-pack. I don't know why I thought I was going to get a 6-pack. I've never had a 6-pack in my whole life. So I don't know why I thought I was going to get one, but I was like, this is going to give me a 6-pack. And so I decided to start posting my workouts over on Instagram. Now, why did I choose Instagram? Because again, collegiate competitive cheerleader, I had a shit ton of friends on Facebook, like over 700. On Instagram, like nobody. Like no one wasn't really using Instagram back then. So I had no followers over there. So I figured it would be less embarrassing over on Instagram, but still out there in the world. So it would keep me in check, right? And I showed up every single day just talking about my workouts, making hideously ugly collages of food and Shakeology. So that's tip number 1, stop making collages. That's 5 years ago. It's not cool anymore. Don't put words on your pictures. These are just small things. Anyways, and people started messaging me, asking me if I was a coach. Now, I didn't know any coaches. I didn't follow any coaches. I knew nothing about anything. Didn't know what a coach was besides the woman who was running the group. I had no experience with a coach, and I didn't even know her. I was only in the group through my friend. And so I'm like, no. And they're like, you're so inspiring. And I'm like, what are these weird words you're saying? Because I'm literally just posting my workouts. Like, I don't know what people are talking about. And over this span of 5 months, I had given my coach 7 of my friends. Now, these people weren't joining because I had great results, because I literally had none. They were joining because I was actually happy, and they could see that in me. So, you know, when like people like look at someone and they're like, hey, smile. People would say that to me when I was working the bar like 100 times a night, because that's how miserable I was. And so they could see this change in me, and they wanted that for themselves. So I always like, yes, results are important. You should be getting results, especially if you've been a coach for, you know, more than 3 months. You should have some results of some kind, but a lot of times sharing the mental and emotional results that we get are just important as the physical. So I just wanted to note that there. But so, you know, I decided after the 5th time my coach had asked me, and that I could have been making money off signing my friends up, I'm like, you know what, let's just do it. Like I'm a really frivolous person. I didn't really care about the discount. I liked Shakeology. I was going to continue drinking it. So I was like, you know what, if I sign up and have a good time and I make an extra $100, $200 a month, this would be worth it to me. So I signed up, and then freaked out, literally like went black, like didn't tell anybody, like just freaked out, like off the grid. And I'm like, I'm that girl. I'm selling stuff on the internet. Like, what have I done? Like, what has my life come to? Like, this is not what I imagined my life to be. And about 3 weeks later, I'm in Hawaii randomly with my husband at the pool, and an upline post about a push to Emerald group. Now, I've done nothing. I've done no trainings. I've done no posts. I've done nothing. I'm still working out, drinking my shake. And it's like $10 buy-in. Anyone who goes Emerald in the 2 weeks gets to split the pot. Well, I'll pretty much do anything for a free t-shirt, but if there's money involved, like I'm going to get that money. And so this was motivating to me. Like, oh, I can win a contest and win money. Like, this sounds amazing. So I PayPal'd my $10 at the pool. They added me to some Go Green group. It said, make a list of 25 people. I'm a type 3, so I made a list of 42 people, spammed everybody I'd ever met. Even if I hadn't talked to them since high school, I invited them to do 21-day fix with me. I don't recommend you doing that, but it got me moving. I made my first post. I held my shaker cup up on my face and said, healthiest meal of the day. That's all it said. Doesn't make any sense. Super embarrassing. But guess what? It got me moving in the direction that I needed to go. And by the end of the 2 weeks, I had signed 6 people to hit Success Club 12, 2 of them being coaches to go Emerald, and I made $394. Now, back then, that wasn't a ton of money. I would make that in a night as a bartender. But I had this light bulb moment that, like, okay, I have no desire to work this business full time. But what I could do is make enough money so that I could leave the bar, and while I'm applying for jobs, still have income coming in. And then I could go find a job that I do love. And so from there, I just went full force, like running out the gates, like hitting SC 20, 30, 40, 50, diamond in 4 months. I'm like, okay, by the end of the year, I'm going to be a 2-star diamond. A year from now, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to match my husband's salary. Still 5 years later, have not matched my husband's salary. It's still on my list. I'm just like, I'm going to freaking crush this business, right? And at the end of the year, I was a super shaky diamond. And I was like that diamond that was like diamond, emerald, diamond, emerald, diamond, emerald. Because what did I do? I freaking crushed my business, bringing in people hand over foot. And then I became a diamond. And I'm like, okay, I'm a leader now. I have to get everybody who signed up with me to diamond. Well, guess what? Most diamonds are built off of discount coaches, and discount coaches don't want to be diamonds. They barely want to be emeralds. So I basically went on the defense and went off of offense, and I stayed a diamond for a year and a half. Okay. And that was really hard on me because 11 months into my journey, so in January of 2016, I signed up February 2015. At my husband's company party, I got a phone call from my boss of 7 years letting me know that I no longer worked there because I was too negative. Now, if that doesn't give you a picture into my mental state at this time, I can't really paint it any clearer for you. But Beachbody has truly changed all of that around for me. Back then, I was definitely glass half empty. I'm definitely a glass half full girl now. And I attribute that to Beachbody and all the personal development that we do. But in that moment, I had to pull my husband, who's an executive, out of his company party to let him know that I just lost my job. And oh, by the by, you don't know this, but I have $61,000 in debt. Okay. So that was the worst moment of my entire life. And he's incredible. And he just looked at me and he's like, whatever you're stressed about, we got it. The next morning, a friend called and she's like, hey, I have a position at a bar. If you want it, it's yours. I looked at John and I'm like, well, what should we do? And he's like, well, what makes you the happiest? And I said, Beachbody. And he's like, then let's go for it. So with his support, literally allowing me to not work and pay for everything, I became a full-time Beachbody coach January 9th, 2016. You'd think that I freaking crushed it that year. Nope, I ended a super shaky diamond. And why? Because I was still on defense, trying to get everybody who had signed up with me to want to be a diamond coach and to want to be a Beachbody superstar like now I wanted to be, right? And we have to remember that people coming in, although they say your vibe attracts your tribe, it is going to be very rare that you find somebody that has the same wants, goals, desire, intensity, determination as you. Especially if you're a self-starter, you just have to realize that most people are not self-starters in this business, but don't discount them because some people just need a little hand-holding. And then once they get it, they'll be on their way. But a lot of coaches are so busy, they can't help anyone, right? Now that's never been the case for me. I've always tried to help people as much as possible, but never in a way that like exhausted me. I'm very good at determining who's actually going to do something, and I just base it off of the effort that they put in to me, and then I match that. So if somebody's texting me, asking me questions, wanting to do one-on-one, showing up on team calls, participating in team challenges, oh, hell yeah, that person's going to get a ton of my time. If somebody never is in the team page, doesn't get on team calls, I never hear from them, I don't see them on social, what do we need to get on a one-on-one? You know what you're not doing, right? So I'm not the person that's like, you need to earn my time. I'll never be like that, no matter how big my business gets. But I just say, I will match your efforts. So if I don't hear from you, you will not hear from me. Anyways, so I tell you that I did not crush my first year as a full-time Beachbody coach, because I think a lot of coaches assume, especially coaches that work full-time, that if they had more time, that they would be further along in their business. And what I've learned in the last 5 years, first year working full-time, last 4 years working from home, is that it's not about the time that you have, it's about the effort you put in the time that you do have. So if you're super focused in your 30 to 60 minutes that you have a day to work this business, you could be a top coach if you wanted to. Or you could have 8 hours a day and do nothing and send no invites and think that you're working because you're scrolling social media all day and not be a top coach. So I had a really hard time managing my time because I had so much of it so suddenly. Because I went from having to do a power hour before I left for work, because once I went to the bar, there was no looking at my phone. I was at the bar from 5:45 p.m. until 3 a.m., and there was no checking my phone. It was me literally running into the kitchen to text my husband good night, and then I was back at the bar. So I had to work my business before I went to work. But then once I had all day, and then a lot of stuff just didn't get done, right? And again, I went on the offense, trying to get everyone to diamond when most people didn't even want to be emeralds. So my first year as a coach, I recruited 32 coaches. My second year, full time, I only recruited 19 coaches for the entire year. So the difference in income was only $1,000. I only made $1,000 more than I did working full time. So that doesn't tell you that you don't need more time. You just need to be more focused. Not sure what else will. So going into my third year, I had finally found a runner, someone whose trajectory looked very much like mine. Like she came out the gates running. First month, hit SC20, signed 6 coaches. I was like, okay, this is it. It's happening, right? She ended up going diamond in 4 months, exactly like I did. I ended up going 1-star and being actually 1-star in March of 2017, which earned me the New Leaders Conference, which if you haven't earned New Leaders Conference, that needs to be on your vision board for this year. You can be a 1-star by Thanksgiving. I promise you that. It is the best thing that I've been to. Now, obviously, I'm sure leadership would have topped that, but we're not there. But New Leaders Conference was a game changer, and you just have to be in the room. I always tell my coaches, you just have to be in the room because you never know what you're going to hear or who's going to say something that's going to change your life, and then you're going to blow this business up. But you'll never hear it if you're not in the room. And so you need to be in the room at New Leaders Conference in Las Vegas next year. Okay, so I'm like, okay, this is it. We are going for elite. We're going to do this. We're going to have our first diamond retreat. I ended a 1-star diamond. Okay, I'm like, what in the world? So I started telling myself this story that, okay, I'm not capable of helping others find success. Like I'm finding success and it's really easy for me, but I'm not capable of leading others. And this was the story that I told myself. So this was what was my reality, right? Our thoughts are super powerful. And when you have negative thoughts, then those create your actions. And most time when you're feeling negative, you're not motivated to go change people's lives. So therefore your business suffers. So you need to tell yourself a different story. So went to New Leaders in 2018. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to blow this up. I am going elite by the end of this year. It is happening. Ended up signing a girl in July of that year. She went diamond in 30 days. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen anyone do that. It was wild. I'm like, oh, people can go diamond in 30 days. Like, wow, okay. Like I'd heard that was a thing, but I'd never had a coach that had gone diamond. I'm like, I didn't even go diamond in 30 days, and I'm a great coach. And so we went in a 2-star qual, and then one of my coaches who had been on the team for about 19 months at that point, she went diamond as well. And so we went into 3-star qual. And then my corporate mentor was like, hey, is your spouse one of your diamonds? And I'm like, he's not even emerald. By the way, that was 3 years into my business. So I literally flushed my husband's volume for so long. And at that time, my biggest volume producer was right under my husband. Like, if I can tell you anything, make sure your spouse is signed up. If you don't have one, get your mom, get her social and get her signed up, right? Okay. Get somebody signed up where you can build that volume for your future kiddos. Okay. Because I'm going to slide Chloe into another spot when she turns 18 and her college is going to be paid for. All right. So you need to have your spouse signed up and then get them to Emerald so they can at least be banking the volume that's going through your team. Okay. Anyways, that's a side note. Okay. So that was on me. I needed to take ownership of that. By the way, I don't have a coach. I don't have an upline. She quit. And it's okay. She never helped me anyway. So it didn't really matter. But anyway, so we ended up going into 3-star qual. And my corporate mentor is like, is your husband a diamond? I'm like, he's not even emerald. She's like, girl, you need to take 30 days and make your husband a diamond. I'm like, okay. If there's one thing about me, I am super coachable. So I literally dedicated the entire month of October 2018 to make my husband a diamond. Signed 12 coaches under him, got 2 girls to achieve emerald. He went diamond. The girl who got me to 2-star literally dropped diamond like the day after we hit it. Nope, I'm not mad. It's fine, right? I was a 2-star diamond. So we were still in 3-star qual. Well, we started 3-star qual in Q4, so we didn't actually hit it until January of 2019, okay? The girl who got me to 2-star is no longer on the team. Gone. Bye-bye. The other girl that was my diamond, no longer on the team. See ya, okay? So if you think that people are going to stay around forever, it's just not the case. And it's okay. It's nothing personal, but at any time, this business can become not somebody's thing, right? Not for me and not for people that are lifers, right? And see the value in it. But sometimes people come in, they get to diamond, they serve a purpose, and then they leave, right? But I mean, I will never be upset with those 2 girls that are gone now because getting myself to 2-star literally changed the game as far as income. Now, I want to say, again, I've always hit high success club numbers. I was pretty decent at recruiting. I'm a lot better now. So my income has grown every single year. Even that first $1,000 jump, okay, I ended up jumping about $8,000 that next year. I ended up doubling my income that next year and almost doubling it again. And I'm gonna double it again this year. So I just want to put that out there that even though you're like, oh man, you were a 1-star for a long time, I do believe that rank and income go together. But I also believe there's a lot of freaking money to be made in this business, and it doesn't always equate to a higher rank, right? Because if you have people on your team that aren't your PS, but they're killing it, that is more income for you, which is why one of my biggest lessons for you is to run with who is running. And sometimes it's not your personally sponsored coaches. And so you might not rank advance, but it's going to be okay when all your bills are paid. You'll be okay with being a 1-star when all your bills are paid. All right. Anyways, so I'm like, all right, 2019, here we freaking go. I started January 3-star. We got the first elite report. February 2019, we were ranked 26 in the company. And I'm like, this is it. I'm like, we're going for top 10 and we're definitely going to hit elite. And if not 5-star, we should at least be 10-star, right? Because this momentum, like we are going to ride this freaking wave all the way, baby. We ended a 1-star diamond team and I was the star. Okay. Again, prior year I had made $48,000. 2019, I made $69,000. Okay. So am I upset that I ended 1-star? Maybe my ego's a little bruised, but I just made $70,000 working from home with my daughter. So I'm okay with it, right? Anyways, so there was a lot of things that came to light in 2019 that my PS were not running. The word diamond was like a 4-letter word, which ultra annoys a type 3 like myself. Like, just effing get there and then we'll figure it out later, right? Like, I don't know. Anyways, I digress. And so I had to change what I was doing. I've had a lot of pivot points in my business, but 2019 was probably the biggest pivot that I made. And so all of the things that I did in 2019 to lead up to the epic 2020 that we're having, I want you to know that they took a long time to catch fire. Now, that's not to say that you can't do something today that'll change the trajectory before the end of the year. That is totally possible. But I'm just really okay with doing the same thing over and over again until it catches fire. So in July of 2019, when I could feel that our momentum had slowed, we had only popped one diamond, the whole downline, one by July. Okay. So, and it was in my second business center. So we didn't even rank advance. Right. I just decided, like, you know what? I love recognition. Words of affirmation are my love language, but I feel like recognition is so far and few in between that the team page is kind of not really a cool place to be. And I want people coming in to want to be in here and feel the vibe in the community, and the culture that in my head, I want it to be this way. So starting July last year, we do a Help 100 challenge every single month. I literally post a graphic on the first day of the month. It's normally themed for whatever the holiday is that month. And I say, July Help 100. Anytime you help anyone with anything, drop their name below and what you help them with, and we'll cheer you on. Okay. We did not help 100 people until January of this year. Okay. But again, I still did it August, September, October, November, December. We're still doing it, right? Now we're trying to help 300 people as a team, right? So I've upped it now that we've crushed that number, right? So, but we took 6 months to help 100 people total as a team, okay? In October, I decided to start recognizing anytime you hit Success Club. So I used to recognize just first time you hit Success Club, first coach sign, first Emerald, any rank advancements, first SC10. And then after that, it was just like the end of the month thing. So if nobody was like hitting Success Club for the first time, there wasn't a lot of recognition. But again, words of affirmation, I'm like, I want to be recognized all the time for my hard work. And a lot of times I do try to get huge Success Club numbers so I can be top of the leaderboard in my big team. Okay. So I'm like, anytime anyone hits Success Club, they're just getting a shout out for me, whether they're PS or not. If I go to do the report and I see someone new is in Success Club, boom, slap a thing. And I just say, let's cheer on Amanda. She locked in SC6 today. Way to go, girl. So proud of you. Like, nothing crazy, nothing special. Takes me 30 seconds to do this, right? But it makes them feel amazing and shows others that other people are having success and other people are helping people so that they can help people too. I also decided to start recognizing Emerald again, because if my team didn't want to go diamond, then we needed something to focus on. So our new focus was no longer like, okay, everyone's trying to push for diamond. It was like, can you recruit 2 coaches this month and do that every single month? If you can do that every single month, before you know it, you'll be a diamond. You'll be able to teach your coaches to do the same. And then eventually they will be diamonds and you will go star diamond, right? We stopped putting deadlines on things. And what's funny about that is when we did that, people started popping diamond like freaking popcorn. Wild. 1 diamond produced in the entire downline in 2019. We've had over 22 new diamonds in the downline this year. Wild. Okay. So going from 1 diamond to over 20 diamonds in 1 year is like insanity. And it was all because we took this pressure off of diamond. And we're just like, can you just help people join the team? And once you can get 1, you can get 2. And if you can get 2, you can get 3. And then we just started talking about the team and why the team is what matters. Retail is great. Retail is awesome. It is quick money. You're like, great, I'm going to get $100 next week because I sold 2 challenge tracks. That's awesome. But think of your life 5 years from now. You're in Hawaii with your family. You're at the luau. The fire dancer guy's dancing. Do you want to be sitting back, enjoying, watching with your family? Like, wow, look at our lives. This is so cool. Or are they going to be watching and you're going to be like trying to slang a challenge pack to make sure you can pay for that luau when your check comes in on Thursday. If you want the second scenario, just sell retail. If you want the first and know that you're going to get a paycheck no matter whether you sell anything or not, build a team. Okay. So we just started talking about that a lot. Now, I've always invited people to the team. I've always seen the value of the team, but my team didn't understand that. They didn't understand that, like, yes, building a team is a slower build of income, but it's a steady build of income. Right. And once they understood that, like, people are making money faster. People are rank advancing faster. People are finding success, which is giving them confidence and allowing them to go out and talk about the team. Like, people always feel like they have to achieve all this stuff to talk about the team, but they haven't achieved anything. So they're like, well, I can't talk about it. But if you don't talk about the team, then you're not going to achieve anything, right? It's like that catch-22 of, like, you can't get a job because you don't have experience, but no one will give you experience, so you can't get a job. It's like that thing. But the cool thing about this business is everything that you're doing is because you're a coach. You're working out because you're a coach. You're drinking a shake because you're a coach. You're dancing around in your kitchen with Energize because you're a coach. You're reading a book because you're a coach. If you can change your language from being a girl on a fitness journey on the internet to coaching keeps me accountable and helped me find discipline to show up every single day with this book, with this shake, with this workout, more people will be interested in having a conversation about being a coach, because coaches get the best results, right? Because no one gets bomb results and then stays a customer. I mean, maybe a rare bird, but coaches get the best results. Why? Because we have more skin in the game, because it's our job to show up. But customer doesn't show up, oh well, doesn't matter. They're not depending on a paycheck on Thursday. They don't have a team counting on them, but a coach does. So if you can switch that language when you're posting, when you're doing your stories, when you're talking to people about, I do all these things because it's my job. I get paid to work on myself. I get paid to read books to have better mental health. Mental health is a huge topic right now. You know how many people could benefit from a job where they're actually required to grow their brain, grow their mind every single day? Imagine a world like that, right? Amazing. So we switched that conversation and they finally got it and actually started bringing in coaches. Of course, obviously we still bring in customers, but like that little notification in your back office, like new coach in your organization, like I never really looked at that. And it is just like changing multiple times a day, like 16, 26, 43, like, because people are inviting to the team. Why? Because that's where people are having the most fun. Like, challenge groups are great. Customers are awesome. But it would be one thing to help you lose 20 pounds. It is another thing to help you lose 20 pounds and, be able to pay your bills. And a customer is never going to get a paycheck from Beachbody. But a coach is going to change their lives and has the power to change others. So we started talking about that. And again, my personal coaches, they were nowhere to be found. They're like snowbirds. They like fly south through the winter. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And I wasn't having fun at the end of 2019 because, again, like I'm only having fun when I'm chasing after something and trying to achieve that next thing. And nobody in my, personally sponsored coaches wanted to do anything. And so I just started running with who was running. And back then it was not my girls. And I had a call with a couple girls at the beginning of the year. And I'm like, okay, what are your 2020 goals? And they're like, oh, Diamond by Summit. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like you're going to be Diamond next month. Like, that's crazy. And guess what? They went Diamond the next month, right? Because somebody valued them and told them that they could do it, which encouraged them to go out and talk to people and actually build their team and push for it. Whereas somebody else would have been like, yes, that's a great goal, Diamond by Summit. But when you tell yourself it's going to take you 6 months to get to Diamond, it will take you 6 months to get to Diamond, right? But why would you prolong that? Why would you prolong a $4 raise? Why would you prolong being a leader on the team, right? Because the more you grow, the bigger your confidence grows to be able to go talk to people. And as your confidence grows, you're going to be able to recruit higher caliber people to your team who actually want to do this with you. A lot of people will say yes. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people will say yes. A lot of people will sign up, but it is a very small few of people who actually want to do this. Okay. So again, started the year 1 star. My girl who gets us to 2 stars, she ended up getting it back in February, I believe. So we went back in to 2 star, which is great. And then she dropped for a week in April because one of her emeralds returned her husband's Shakeology. Just never return your product. just a little lesson for you. Just keep that, sell it as samples, never return your own product, right? So we started April 1 star. Hannah got it back the next week. We went 2 star. Then all of a sudden, one of my discount coaches, Stephanie, who has literally been inactive for 2 years, had just decided she was ready to do this. And so she started working out the end of 2019. And by April, she went diamond. So we went into 3 star that next week. And then my coach, Kat, of 5 years, one of my original coaches, my only coach left who helped make me a diamond, she decided it was time for her to go diamond. Jen got FOMO. Jen went diamond. And I'm like, okay, my husband needs an emerald. I'm not going to be the reason that we're only 5 star when we could be 6 star. Literally got an emerald under my husband. And by the last week of April, we went into 6 star qual. And that day that we went into 6 star qual, corporate called me and they're like, well, this is the best day ever because we'd love for you to talk on the national wake up call. And I'm like, what in the actual hell's going on? I have had national wake up call presenter on my vision board every year since I started. Okay. And Sydney was like, well, she's like, you're having the best day ever. I was like, literally started bawling. I'm like, what is happening? And a lot of people recently have been like, tell me what you've done because you've just exploded this past year. And while you could attribute all of those things that I shared with you to this, I want you to know that a coach on my team sent me a voice memo the other night. And she was like, me and the other girls were talking and we're just so in awe of what you've been able to accomplish in the last year. And we're like, look what Danny did in a year. We could be in the same place in a year from now. And I was listening to it in the bathroom. And my husband looked at me and said, does she know that you've been going this hard for 5 years? And I'm like, effing thank you. Like, so many people want to believe that it was just those little things that I told you about. But please believe that I have believed I could be this caliber of coach since I signed up. I saw it. I visualize it. I tell myself every day in the mirror that I am a superstar diamond. I'm $1 million a year earner with Beachbody. Hardworking women flow freely to me. I am recruiting star diamond coaches. I will sell 3 challenge packs a day. I say that to myself every single morning. Does it happen? No, but it will because I believe it and I will speak it into existence and then I will put in the work to make it happen. So when I ended every single year, nowhere near what it said on my vision board, I kept going. When coaches, diamond coaches, quit the team, I kept going. When people are like, oh, I can't get to emerald, I can't get to diamond in this amount of time, that fuels me like none other. I'm like, really? Watch. And I'll go do it. So I made my husband diamond in 30 days. I opened my second business center, made it diamond in 30 days. I opened my third business center a few weeks ago. She's about to go diamond, right? Because I never want to believe that my success is dependent on anyone else but me. Because, well, this person dropped diamond, so we lost rank. No. Nothing stopped you from bringing in more women who wanted to be diamond and beyond coaches. So it's not Rachel's fault that she dropped diamond and we dropped out a 9-star qual. It's my fault because I didn't bring on more people and build them up to diamond. So I will never put my failures on anyone but me because success is mine for the taking. And I cannot believe that it depends on anyone else because if it does, then I'm going to be waiting a long time. I'm going to be waiting for others to find the confidence, to find the drive, to find the determination. You have to pave the way for your future coaches. So if your current coaches aren't doing anything, Go find new ones. Okay. The current ones you do have, they can grab your hand at any time and start running with you. Okay. But I want you to find somebody and run with them through the end of this year, because there's no sense in waiting until January 1, because there's no difference from today, October, whatever it is, 14th, and January 1, if you go in with that mindset. You have to end this year a diamond or beyond coach. Why? Because you deserve that. Because your family deserves that. You need to prove to yourself that it's possible. Okay. And diamond is just a stepping stone. There's so much more beyond diamond, right? And like I said, your entire business can change in a week if you believe that it's possible, right? And maybe no one wants to run with you. I told my team we're going for top 10. We got announced as number 29 in the network last week with the elite report. And I'm like, we're going for top 10. And it was kind of crickets. And everyone who was like, yeah, are not my PS. Am I going to worry about it? No. Because there's nothing stopping me from bringing in 30 badass women by the end of this year who are ready to freaking run. So if who I currently have don't want to run or don't want to hold their diamond, I cannot worry about that. I can't control that. I can control 3 things: my attitude, my efforts, and my actions. And that's it. And then you just run with that, and you don't stop until you've made yourself proud. Okay, I don't know if you guys want to do Q&A or what.
If y'all have a Q&A, if anybody has questions, I hope Danny spoke to you guys with a fire and a determination, because I think I speak to you guys very similar, but at the end of the day, sometimes it does come off differently from somebody else, right? And it's not sitting here, she's not telling you that you can't, like, guys, you heard her say she built her husband in her second CBC. I built my husband for us to go 3-star last November, and then I built my second CBC so we could go 4-star in during this year, right? And I built him within 30 days. So stop, like, why have you given yourself a 4-month window to go diamond? You guys have until October 22nd, like next week, to get a share of the pot, i.e. they're in a diamond dash. And there's like plus $500 in this diamond group that is just going to go to donation if you guys don't claim it. So I am not here, like, please ask Danny questions. I know, if 1-star is your thing, like, guys, why not? Why not? Does anybody have questions or anything and we have coaches on here. I've got Caroline on here. She is like one of my original diamonds, and life has happened to her. And I'm so proud of her because it's true, right? Like, your coaches will come back when they're ready, right? And they come back for different reasons. So if you guys are on here, and all of you guys, 2 of you have diamond like in your back pocket if you want it next week. And my question to you, and Danny's question is going to be to you, like, why? Hasn't it happened?
I have a question for you.
Go for it, Amanda.
Sorry, I've got trolls playing in the background. I kind of have like 2 questions. So I am diamond pushing for 1-star. I've got a girl running, so I'm running with her. I had a group of girls who were running, and all but one just kind of stopped and just fell over. And I'm like, I can't run. I'll run with you if you want to run with you, but I'm not stopping. Mm-hmm. So the girls that kind of stopped, do you still, and I know you said you match effort, but do you still kind of like do a pulse check with them every once in a while, or do you just wait until they come to you?
So a little baby. So I think that it just depends on the situation. Like, if you're pushing for 1-star, a little baby too. You're a big baby. And if you're pushing for 1-star, and you don't have like an excess of people currently, I would probably reach out and acknowledge that, hey, I know things are crazy right now. I just wanted to check in with you and see how you are feeling. And then ask them, like, what do you have any current goals with the business? Because I would love to know how I can support you best. I have found that when I ask people how I can support them, a lot of times they'll tell me what's going on, because there's no pressure. I'm not like checking in like, hey girl, like we gotta run, we gotta gain a diamond. Like I'm not checking in with them that way, right? But like, how can I support you right now? Do you need something from me, like to hold you accountable? Do you need me to text with you? Like I have some diamond girls in a thread right now, and a few of them today were just like, I have fallen off so hard. And I'm like, okay, well, there's no time to feel bad or feel sad. Like all we can do is move forward from here. So what do you need? And then let them tell you what they need. And then you show up and give them that. If they're like, I just need space and time, then you just give that to them and just say, okay, I'm here for you. When you are ready, let me know if you need anything. And then you have to go out and find new people, because there's always going to be a time where people need to take a step back, right? And you're like, why is it when we're pushing for a huge goal? Why is it when we're in qualification? Right? It's never when everything's great, right? So, but I just find that if you make people feel that you care about them, which I'm sure you do, they are willing to show up more for this business, if they feel valued and cared about. So, I definitely give my time to those that match my effort, but also, if I see potential in someone, I just want them to know that like, hey, I see you. Whenever you're ready to run, like I'm right here with you. So letting people know that like my hands and my heart are always open for you. I cannot stop because you have stopped, but I will be here when you're ready. And then, if there are people that you like need for this qualification, you need to go out there and you need to find some new people. Right? Because again, that's something you can control. You cannot control people wanting to take a step back. My friend Julianne Condia, her team just hit 10-star. And on the day she announced they were pushing for it, 3 of her coaches quit. She's like, all right, here we go. So not everyone is going to want to go with you, and that's okay. It's not a reflection on you, but control what you can control, which is how many people you're talking to and how many coaches you're bringing onto the business.
I just want to highlight something really fast that Danny said, where she said she stopped putting a timeline on Diamond and the talk about Diamond. I think that there are certain times during the year where we have a hustle season, and now is that time. So I will say that, you guys, you're going to have ebbs and flows. And when you're in Q4 and you are pushing for a big goal, that is a hustle time. And that is where we say, yes, this is when we have to lock this in and hold it for 6 weeks, or we will not end the year this way. Okay, so we can start off January fresh and clean slated, all have a breather, and then we go fresh again, because everybody starts in the same place. But in Q4, when you are pushing for something like this, I'll say it, like, it is hustle time. And Amanda knows, Chelsea knows, we did this last year. We ended up, at Disney going 3-star premiere. So you have to remember that we can say we're not going to push you guys to diamond. I did that all year. I said, just keep adding, just keep adding, just keep adding. But several of you guys also stated, I'm going to be diamond by this date, and it's been 6 months. And I've pushed y'all, but there's nothing that I can do now but believe in you guys and know that you have to hustle and you have to commit to that goal.
Mm-hmm. So if y'all are pushing for diamond by Thanksgiving, because for your team to qualify, you have to hold for 6 weeks, or 1 star if you're trying to go to New Leaders Conference. One, you need to believe that that goal is possible, and it is more than possible for you to go diamond in the next 6 weeks. You could go diamond next week if you really wanted to. It's just all in your mindset around that. And then how hard you are willing to go with talking about it, because whatever you talk about is what people want from you. So if you go get on your stories tonight after this call and just say, just had team call, I take a Monday or I take an hour out of every Wednesday to be on this call because, and you hear that I'm talking, I'm not typing font, right? People need to get to know you with your voice. Super important to not just post a photo of your team call, because people don't know what you're talking about. People will probably think you guys are like talking about workouts, right? No. Tell people why you're taking an hour away from your family every Wednesday to be on this call. Why is it that important to you? Where are you hoping to go? And then you have to put your goal out there and say, I am wanting to be a diamond leader in my company by Thanksgiving. And, you know, I've given myself that same goal. Me and my success partner said no turkey if we don't wake up superstar on Thanksgiving. Little does she know, I don't even like turkey, but that's okay. And so you need to put it out there and say, I want to be a diamond leader in my company because I want to prove it to myself that I can. This would give me a $4 raise and put me on the path to where I'm hoping to go with this company. I am looking for, name your number, of women who want to, they're cricket stuff, who want to build a business for XYZ. Do you want to have more community? Do you need accountability for your workouts? Can you stop yelling at Mama? Okay. Right? And like, tell them exactly why you want to do this. And then you're going to show up for the next 6 weeks and you're going to talk about this. I want you to make a graphic with the number of people that you need. It is cricket stuff. She's losing it. And put a goal out there of like, if it's like 10 women, okay, you can have it. Jesus. And every day you're going to post that graphic, even if there's no names on it. Every day you're going to post, and then you're going to do a poll, or you're going to do a quiz, or you're going to do a question box, but you have to go hard. If you just post about it tonight, and then 3 weeks later you haven't signed anyone up and you haven't talked about it since, like, no duh. You have to talk about it every single day until it comes to fruition. And this is what I had my girls do. We were pushing for a Disney retreat. Make a countdown. Make a countdown to Thanksgiving for your diamond date or your 1-star date, whatever it is, and say, I will be this date. And then every Thursday, you are going to update your story with that countdown and say, okay, this is where I am. You know, you can screenshot your board with your people. Get your followers involved in this, and I guarantee you people will want to help you with this goal, but only if they know that they can help you. When I need help, I am like, y'all, I need help. When I was trying to get in the Morning Meltdown test group, I knew I had to hit some big Success Club numbers, and I was like, share this post, like it, send it to your aunt, I don't care. And guess what? People came out of the woodwork. They're like, I'll buy Energize. I'm like, that doesn't help me, but thank you. I sold so much Energize. I hit SC60. And people were like, every week, like, what points? What are your points now? Like, people were invested in getting me into the Morning Meltdown test group. Why? Because I was relentless in sharing it. Relentless. Ego at the door. Doesn't matter if you talked about it yesterday. There's no ego in this business, right? Because when you can pull this off, your confidence is going to be through the roof. And when you have that, there is nothing you can't accomplish in this business. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
You're fine. And I know you have a call too. So I want to make sure that we are off and you can jump on your next call. I really appreciate you. And I know we just met last week, but seriously, like, I heard you and I was like, oh my gosh, please preach it some more. So Annie, thank you so much for jumping on.
Thank you guys.
And I seriously love you, and you'll probably see more of me in your stories, and I don't even care. But keep doing you, and you're going to wake up on Thanksgiving as a superstar diamond, and we are going to wake up by Thanksgiving going into 6-star fall, not 5. So we're just going to go ahead and do that, and I will tag you for it. So I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a good night. Bye.